Peter, I know we want to focus on another incident in Minnesota. Can you share with us what happened?
Yeah, so it has to do with this man named Alex Pretti. He was apparently a nurse. So agents fired about 10 shots in roughly 5 seconds while Alex was already on the ground. He was at where apparently protesters were, and while ICE was doing their operation. So before the shooting, Alex was shows that he was directing traffic and filming agents. That's what he was doing. He was holding a phone. Some people say it was a gun. It wasn't a gun. An agent shoved a woman, and then Alex moves towards her, puts his arms around her. Apparently, in the video capture, it captures that the officer said, "He's got a gun." And then almost a second later, there are shots fired. Officials, particularly Kristi Noem, Senior Border Patrol, claimed that Alex approached these ICE agents with a 9mm handgun and violently resisted disarmament. By the way, he had a handgun. He also had 2 magazines, which holds around like 10 to 17 rounds each. And based off what you see, how does that make you feel?
Man, we've had so many unfortunate events like this. I mean, it seems to me that he wasn't, it's clear that he wasn't waving a gun at the police officer. And sure, if you do discover that somebody has a holster and, you know, magazines, I mean, you and I have both shot guns before. We know what's a proper carry and what's not. It seems to me that the ICE officers unfortunately overreacted. And I've also read that he was shot after the gun was removed. Is that what you saw?
The one agent removed the handgun from Alex's waistband. Within about 1 second, that gun being pulled free, other agents began firing.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, they already pulled the gun from him, but then they just start firing after that.
That's just gross negligence, you know? There's got to be a better de-escalation method for somebody who is just participating in what is a right for American citizens. No administration is perfect. Nobody is perfect. No organization is perfect. People are protesting, right? You've probably read that. People are like up in arms about this, and it's just super, super sad and unfortunate.
I think for me, the various events even before the shooting was very shocking. The idea of a particular law enforcement group go out there and get illegal immigrants to pay for their crime. Okay, like that, it makes sense to me. That's all I'm saying. It just makes sense. If, let's say it was a different crime, right? So it is a crime for you to come here illegally. Let's say it was for murder or if it was for stealing or robbing a bank, whatever it is, right? Like it makes sense to me, right? But I am still in the stance that I don't like the way it is happening, the way it is being executed. I understand that the reason why we are doing that is because they're trying to get something done quickly. They're trying to, before the administration, ends, whatever it is, right? They're trying to get this done quickly and change the country quickly. But I think it's like a rubber band that's being pulled way too hard and then it's breaking. Because think about the effects of what it's doing to the country right now. And the distrust and the authoritarian, feeling that we're getting, the big brother feeling of seeing all this happen. Now, I understand why we're doing it, but it's just the methods have not been great. And another thing I didn't like about the particular scene was you see these, I don't even know how many ICE agents came to this man holding a phone, right? He was holding a phone, and you see them. If you look at the clip, I was trying to justify, why did this happen? And first of all, you see that shove. I think that was an unnecessary shove, unless she was like trying to fight back or throw a punch. It didn't seem like that. So that was a very unnecessary shove. And then this guy, whoever he is, they should identify him. He starts spraying him with pepper spray, right? Immediately after. So, man, kind of unnecessary. Sprayed him again. And then he starts dragging him. And you see, look at how many ICE agents are there, right? Dragging him, pinning him down. And there's actually a part, and I maybe you could see it here. I don't know if you could see it or not, but they were actually like hitting Alex, like actually beating Alex. You see it? Did you see that? Right there? Right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear. It's just right there, in
like,
plain
look
view.
at it. Boom, boom. He's hitting Alex with whatever tool that thing was. And for me, it's like, why? Why did you have to do that? Why did you, like, was that really necessary? Right? I understand you're trying to get things done. These guys are in your way. They were having a protest. I understand that, but it's like, is that really necessary? You're really being forceful and violent. And I think I asked Perplexity, like, okay, so because I'm trying to get, again, you're trying to understand both sides. Like, why were they violent? How many people in ICE were killed? I was trying to find, like, okay, were there a bunch of people being killed by ICE, and that's why they have to be extra, like, careful? I don't really know, and they're doing wrong. I mean, they're clearly wrong. Like, for if we're, I said this before, if we're so blinded by a narrative, like a particular narrative, ICE is doing a great job. They're doing great. They make no mistakes, and you're being ignorant because they are clearly making mistakes.
I think it's actually pretty simple for me. I mean, I understand psychology. I understand that, we're all human. We get triggered, and when we are untrained, I mean, I'll just be, real forthright and say, even me as a dad, when I run into a situation where I think that I don't have control and I need to regain control, sometimes I will use anger. It can be a tool, but as soon as you exceed that, heart rate, 100 to 120 BPMs, you're just not thinking correctly. And I remember seeing ads for ICE agents, recruitment, like, hey, join us and get a bonus. And again, I do agree that immigration or illegal immigration is a big problem. It's draining on our resources. There's people here that are veterans or whatever that aren't getting the care that they need. And we're bleeding out voting rights, federal funds, state funds to the people who haven't necessarily gone through that process. I'm an immigrant too. Like, I went through a whole process. Like, ever since I was a kid, I was constantly reminded that I wasn't a citizen, that I had to work through these things and be, qualify, right, to become a citizen. So I get it. However, I would encourage people to think that these guys are probably not trained to even anywhere near where they're supposed to be emotionally. They probably have a sense of pride, which is good as an American citizen doing the right thing. And yet they may be given too much leeway and power to be able to do whatever it takes. And that's clearly showing up. And even if it doesn't result in death, there's a lot of clips out there about ICE agents, chasing people into businesses. It's crazy. So I will maybe end with, it's really tough, because if I saw something like that happening, would I or would you be able to just watch, like some nice ethnic lady be beat up or shoved? I don't know, it would be very, very difficult for me, because, we are protectors, and I would never let that happen to, forget it. If it was my mom, forget it. I don't even want to go there. But what is the cost to that? And the fact that we have to even worry about that and be concerned about that I feel like that's very, very dangerous to society. It's crazy, and I really hope it doesn't happen again, but there's definitely a need to get this out to the people. So I'll end there.
Yeah, I just looked up how many ICE agents were killed since President Trump's January 2025 inauguration. It actually says there have been 0 ICE deaths. So I don't know if that's true or not.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, you have to make an impact. You have to kind of swing with the big hammer for a lot of these issues. And it tears at me because President Trump is doing a lot of things, that are really good. He has the right people. There's so many things I could talk about, but this is definitely a sore mark.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you have to be left to say that this is wrong. Let's not get ignorant. Let's not be oblivious to the true facts here. These ICE agents made a mistake, and there's probably a lot of mistakes along the way. I really want the government to stop being like, no, they didn't make a mistake. No, this guy was a violent, blah, 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 blah. Okay, he did have like 2 magazines with him. Not a good look, but it's just 2 magazines. If he had like an M4 or like an assault rifle with like multiple bullets, that's a different story. I think the story is very clear. He's not a violent person unless something comes up. We never know, right? Something may come up where like this was all planned and he was like planning on shooting these ICE agents, whatever it is. I'm sure they'll come out with it, but I think this was just a clear mistake. And there was 1 shot fired. and that scared them, and multiple shots were fired. I mean, 10 times. I mean, come on. They like really took this guy down. I think they just made a massive mistake, man. So I think that's very clear. You know, debate us or not, but it's just, I think it's really clear.
I think there's always two sides. And what's portrayed on the media, obviously with video footage, I don't know what else to say to that. I mean, it's literally right there. I don't think that these officers are walking away happy. I think they're going to grieve as well, and they're going to suffer, unfortunately, when you hurt somebody like that. I don't think it ever leaves you. You know, there's got to be training. There's got to be de-escalation training. I mean, even for the police department, this is what police officers talk about. And I hope that it can get better.
Yeah, be better. All right. Well, thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Whether you agree with us or not, we're not trying to pick sides here. We're just trying to look at things objectively and try to analyze things and give opinions based off objective. It's not like we're like a left or a right or anything like that. We're just trying to be objective about the situation, and those are our opinions based off what we see factually. So, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.